push record. You broke him.
Broke him.
You broke him. Cute him.
Broke him? Don't even know him.
Broke him.
Oh
Damn
my
near
God.
killed him.
We're so funny.
I love our humor.
Oh my god. Oh.
Other people think we're stupid, though.
We
And
kind
that's
of are
okay.
stupid. We're like our last two brain cells, mom brain cells are coming together.
Yes.
God.
Sometimes, though, I feel like we're like the two old men in the balcony on the Muppets.
We are.
I feel like we give off that vibe
We do.
occasionally. Especially when we're like talking about our kids. Like we're just like watching our kids do kid things and we're like, "Oh!" like what are their names? I forget their names.
Like, I don't know. I've never known what their names. Like, but like yesterday. Was it yesterday when they were just rolling in the splash pad? Just like on like they were just rolling and laughing and we're like,
Oh yeah.
what the hell are you
We're
guys
just
doing?
making jokes about them.
Yeah. Oh my god, that shit was funny.
That was fun. Okay, so after that very long intro, you're probably like, what the hell's going on here? Did I come
Well-
in mid-conversation?
Welcome to the Ditsy Chicks with Jamie and Mary.
Here we are, being ditzy. This episode, we're going to be talking about soulmates, twin flames, life partners. What was the other one?
Kindred spirits.
Kindred spirits, which was a nice branch to go off of after our previous episode. So we figured we'd take this route and kind of talk about our take on all of these,
Mhm.
the information that's out there on the internet, and why it's wrong. Just kidding. And to be honest, it really is everything that you believe, whatever you believe that makes you feel better. Because we're all on different paths. We all have different experiences. So we all believe different things.
Headphones?
I mean, I can hear you just fine.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I would like the headphones on.
I'm kind of wigging out because I can't hear what my volume is, and I'm like, am I too quiet? Am I too loud? I don't know what's happening. So
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Wigging out. That's an Iron Giant reference. I love that movie.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Dude, we had 2 of those movies.
Is one of them mine?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, I think we might have sold it today. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I didn't even see that movie out there.
Maybe.
Sorry, we had a yard sale today.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, I like this.
Mm.
Gets me in the zone, the headphones.
AutoZone. I'm sorry. Not sponsored.
But yeah, I had bought my son, I believe I had bought him the Iron Giant movie when he first watched it, I think, on Cartoon Network, and he really liked it.
Okay.
So I think I bought it for him. So one of them might be mine if you come across the second one.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out. Because I thought I put it in the yard sale stuff because we had 2. And I was like, I don't know where the hell this came from. Because all of our movies came from our apartment when we moved.
Okay.
So,
I definitely didn't see it when I went through the movies, but...
Okay.
Huh. Oh well. If it's sold, it's sold. We
still got our copy. So you can borrow it if you need
That's
to.
True. Perfect. Well, after we wasted 2.5 minutes talking about our yard sale.
I know. I'm so sorry. Back to what yeah.
So yes, there's lots of information about these things out on the internet. A lot of it's contradicting, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to contradict it too.
That's fine.
You're probably going to be even more confused.
I would rather get people's personal, takes, I guess, on what each thing is, because the internet is almost always wrong.
Yeah.
Or doesn't give you a thorough enough definition or explanation. So I guess we could start by I can define what the internet said each thing was, and honestly, we can go through one by one, and then you can tell me your take, and we can go through them that way.
But if you really look at it, if anyone looks up the definition or what these are in articles on the internet, they literally are all articles. They're all people's opinions.
Yep.
They're just going through their opinion. Well, this is what it really is. No, this is what this really is.
Yeah.
And
I think I got all of my definitions from the dictionary on Google.
She finger quoted that, by the way.
Yeah, quote unquote dictionary. because I didn't use an actual dictionary. I just literally like Googled like twin flame definition, and then it popped up with the definition. So
yeah, so let's start off what the actual dictionary definitions are of all of these.
Yep.
And then we'll dive in.
So we'll start with twin flame. Two people who share the same soul. There is an intense magnetic attraction when they meet, share similar experiences and trauma. And that's all it said. So I would say that's a less spiritual take on it.
Yeah, that sounds like, I mean, if you believe in souls and you believe that they can, there's certain souls for each other.
Oh, sorry. I put on the side in a little whoop. One soul. It's one soul split into two bodies.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got that from what you had read before,
right.
But that's because I already knew.
Right.
So, yeah, I think you can go into the next one.
Okay. Soulmate, a person who is perfectly suited for another in temperament.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. When I read that, I wasn't really understanding what it was trying to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say a soulmate is?
I mean, if I were to base it off of that definition, it sounds like a best friend.
Yeah.
It sounds like somebody that you get along so well with that they are just your best friend.
Right.
I mean, I have a few best friends that I 100% believe are my soulmates.
Yeah.
So, and that's what that sounds like. I mean, it can be like, a romantic partner too, especially if you're like, I'm with my best friend.
Right.
So anyways, next definition.
Kindred spirits is kind of an in-between of soulmates and twin flames, an individual with the same beliefs, attitudes, and feelings as oneself.
I like kindred spirits. I wish I had more of them in my life.
That's funny.
Because as far as like beliefs and just generally what my soul likes to go to,
yeah,
I'm like, yeah, there's really not a lot of people like that around me. I mean, like you guys.
Yeah.
That's about it.
You grew up with Dylan though.
Yeah.
And of course I'm going to have the same beliefs as Dylan. I married him.
Yeah.
I would hope we have the same beliefs,
interests,
attitudes, and feelings. Maybe not attitudes, but
I feel like you two have different attitudes, but you, I guess, convey them in the same way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next. That's it.
What was the other? I think we just life
partner.
That defines itself.
Yeah, I was gonna say life partners are kind of. I feel like life partner is less of a spiritual term and more of like a umbrella term for a relationship you're in.
Yeah.
So
pretty much.
I think that's why I didn't really include it when I was writing my notes, because I'm like, life partner.
Yeah.
That could be anything.
Right. That's also like, it's literally defining itself.
Yeah.
Life partner, a partner for your life. We are partners for life.
They were my partner 5 years ago, and now we're not together, but they're my life partner. Oh my gosh. So yeah. That's what I got when I was defining everything. And then I kind of personally went through and looked at all of my individual relationships with the people in my life, and I was trying to figure out if any of them fit into any of these roles. And that's really hard for me to do because the people in my life are very different than me. Because like, I mean, Dylan and I are probably the most similar out of all of the people I've met, besides like maybe Stevie. And Cheyenne and I are very, 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 very similar emotionally and mentally. But personality wise, we are kind of different people, like with our like interests and how we hold ourselves. It's just
also like what's important to you in life too.
Yeah. So like looking at my relationships, it was really like, you can see like I crossed stuff out because I was like, Dylan obviously is my twin flame. Then I was like, but we do like, I said trauma. And I was like, we didn't really share the same trauma, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I guess not experiencing the same trauma is not going to define who your twin flame is.
Right.
Because Dylan and I are very
trauma.
like, I really do feel like like after you explaining what your definition of twin flame is, I'm like, it has to be Dylan. Because
Mm-hmm.
I've never felt more at home, more peaceful, more safe, and more complete with anyone in my life than Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I would say maybe like Cheyenne and Stevie and you are my soulmates. I do think. Because we're all, you know,
Yeah.
soulmatey. I don't know.
Matey.
Arr!
Yeah, well, like
I love that took you a second. The realization on your face. Oh, that was gorgeous. Thank you so much for that.
oh
my goodness.
I love that so much.
Soulmatey.
Oh, we're soulmates. Oh my gosh. Yebs be warned.
Was it you that said that earlier? Or was it
That was
Dylan?
definitely me.
Okay, what did you say that to? What the hell are we talking about?
We were talking about the very contraception. We were talking about pedophiles and maps. And I was like, why can't we just treat them like pirates? And
that was
say
yesterday.
pedophiles, yebs warned.
Yeah.
Well, there's my take on my ruling of pedophiles with an iron fist. No tolerance. I have no tolerance.
And if you're a maps like person
you can
or
fuck
a
off.
maps supporter, we don't want you here. I'm just gonna say that very bluntly. Maps is not a real thing.
What do they call that? They call it maps, like a sympathizers.
Sympathizer?
Yeah.
What a bullshit term.
Yeah, that's awful.
Absolute bullshit.
Way to make it sound less terrible. Like,
you can't
changing
make
the
it
name
sound less
is yeah, changing the name's not going to make that any less
I'm
terrible.
a minor attracted person. You are somebody that just needs to not be on this earth anymore.
Minor attracted person. Like, why?
I don't get it.
I need to know why, to be honest.
Right. Like, what the hell?
We are getting heated.
This is
we are moms getting heated over here.
This is very off topic.
It's so off topic.
Oh my god.
You know what?
I just had
we
to say
can save this for a different episode. After you listen to this, you can totally go into our questionnaire and say, hey, I want to hear more about that shit and what you guys think of it, because I kind of think the same.
We can include it into our mom series once we get into parenting stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
We definitely have like series stuff put together, kind of. We just haven't planned out when we're recording.
Oh, definitely. We're gonna have lots of different series,
but we can include that in that and just get heated.
Go to town.
Bring it around town. I'm talking about the baseball bat into the maps person's head. The fuck out of here. Anyways.
Fuck out of here.
I got your baseball. Who wants to play baseball?
Okay.
Christ. Okay.
We're going right back to topic here.
God,
Twin
Christ.
flames, soulmates.
Yeah.
Soulmates. I do see, going back to you, I do believe you're one of my soulmates, because I think honestly a lot of times when you meet up with one of your soulmates, it's you're not expecting it. It's always some kind of chance thing. And because you became my sister-in-law, it was a chance that my brother even brought you into our lives. You know, there are always chances.
Yeah.
My other soulmates, I 100% believe my first boyfriend was a soulmate. Purely that whole relationship was like, oh my god, this is such a weird chance that this all happened. One of my best friends from high school, she moved to town. Such a chance thing that she was like, hey, I don't want to go to this school anymore. I want to go to this school.
Yeah.
And you know, my relationship with her changed who I was, and she definitely helped me out of my shell.
Yeah.
Now, going to another high school best friend, I believe that she is a kindred spirit of mine.
Okay.
Because we're so similar, and she's like, of all the stuff I talk to you about or talk to my husband about, she's actually one of the only ones that I can talk to about like life growing up.
Yeah.
Because she has such a similar upbringing. She has that similar nostalgia.
Yeah.
We can joke about certain things that nobody else understands.
Right.
And we always had the same interests. We always I don't know, we always just had the same mindsets about things.
Yeah.
And you know, I never talked to her a lot. We all have kids now.
Yeah.
So but she's that for me. Um but as far as twin flames, I know, and the thing is, I know everyone loves to believe that their partner is their twin flame, or you know, their partner that they once had was their twin flame, because pretty much a lot of the stuff that you read on the internet is twin flames are, they're there to come into your life. I can compare them to like Moldavite, the crystal.
Yeah.
Like, you have it, it just turns your life upside down and changes you and changes your life. You know,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be for the better, but it's supposed to be a painful change.
Yeah.
And they always say that twin flame relationships are supposed to be painful and traumatic, and it's supposed to be like looking into a mirror and you're seeing all the bits of you that are hard to handle, and that's how you start evolving, is you see you.
Yeah.
And you change because of that. And they also say, like, there's so many people that have been like, oh, I lived through so much abuse with my twin flame, and we're apart, but they were and I'm like, I'm over here in my twin flame forever relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you really honestly believe that your soul was split in two,
Right.
and the other half of your soul is over here harming its other half?
Yeah.
It's emotionally abusing its other half. Physically, I mean, you can't really physically abuse a soul, but just
My soul is dead. What? What'd you say? My soul is dead. Okay.
fuck out of here.
Get out of here.
What
with your
soul?
bullshit?
Hey, I'm podcasting here.
What murder? Uh-oh.
Oh. We have headphone
What the
issues.
hell's happening? Headphone down.
Huh.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, so if that's what you believe to make you feel better about a terrible relationship, by all means, that's what you believe. But I do notice a lot of people are trying to justify the fact that they stayed in a terrible relationship by saying it was their twin flame. And that's actually very toxic.
I don't like the idea of convincing yourself of something just because it makes you feel better. I don't like that. I've personally never been like that. If something makes me uncomfortable, I try to sit and stew in it and figure out why it makes me uncomfortable, or like whatever, why it upsets me, why it hurts me. That way I can fix it. Why the hell would you want to sit there and try to convince yourself that it's fine when it's not? It's like that meme of the dog that's sitting at the table and everything around him's on fire, and he's just like, I'm fine. This is fine, or whatever.
This is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like thinking about not ever being with your twin flame, how are you supposed to function for the rest of your life when you know half of your soul is out there?
Yeah.
And it's not going to be with you?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I mean,
what?
I made myself laugh because this whole time I thought my coffee was on an actual coaster, not the coaster holder. So
Oh!
I went to go put my coffee back and realized it wasn't a coaster. And then I was looking around like, what the hell? And then I realized I realized how funny the look on my face must have been. And that's what made me
You just did it. You damn idiot.
Oh
Idiot!
my god.
Idiot!
Oh god, I love Elena Bottom Carter. Anyways, I'm so sorry. I am the root cause of us going off track. It's because I'm tired.
Rudeness.
Oh my god, I'm a bitch.
We've been in the sun like all day.
I'm a bitch. I'm talking about.
I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch and I'm a bitch. I'm such a fucking bitch.
Oh my god. Oh, my chest hurts.
Oh,
It's too hot for this.
I know. It's roasting in this room too. God.
We closed the windows hoping it would help because it was cool this morning.
Yeah.
So we closed all the windows hoping it would keep it. And I think it's actually cooler in our bedroom than it is in here because I closed all the
darker
curtains
in there.
Yeah, we got blackout curtains. Anyways, were you wanting to continue talking about your people, or did you really close
my people?
Yeah, your like soulmates and your twin flames.
My people.
Because if you're done, I'm gonna go.
Oh
on
no,
mine.
I just was gonna keep ranting about twin flames. To be honest, I actually haven't even talked about my twin flame.
Who's your twin flame, Jamie?
As somebody I'm not with anymore.
They abused me. That's funny.
No, okay. All right.
I gotta put my coffee down.
Gotta adjust for this one. Boy, you guys are in for a real treat here. A real treat. So when my husband and I started dating, I can't remember if I talked about a little bit about this on a previous episode, but at my place of employment at the time, he started working, and I kid you not, the first time I saw him, I was like, who in the hell is that? That is gonna be working here? That over there is gonna be working here. And it wasn't that I was like, oh my god, he's so physically attractive and everything.
Yeah.
So hot.
Like drooling.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
Convulsing.
It was convulsing.
Jimmy's just actually having a seizure at work, and everybody thinks she's attracted to him.
On the floor. And it wasn't that as much as I felt such a strange pull.
Yeah.
To literally turn around and look at this group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was so, because normally, you know, the groups of new hires would come in and tour around.
I was
and we're
part
just
of one
like,
of
whatever.
them,
yeah, I ignored the fuck out of you too, Mary.
It's okay. I'm forgettable. Which is, it's so ironic that I say that it's based on how much of my chart is based on uniqueness and standing out and being an egotistical asshole. Anyways.
But you're one of my soulmates. Matey. Ahoy, Mary.
But you're one of my showmates. Adam Sandler had ass.
Oh my god. Adam Sandler had ass.
But you're one of my showmates.
Why?
And she showed me her boobies and I like them too. Oh my god. I fucking can't. Oh my god. Oh my lord. Okay.
I'm gonna say that to your husband the next time we're breastfeeding our kids together.
But she showed me her boobies.
I like Mary and she liked me. And she showed me her boobies and I like them too.
Oh my god. Oh, crying.
Oh,
crying,
man.
throwing up, shitting myself. Anyways, I'm so sorry. It's just crack after crack.
We love the crack. Oh my
Anyways,
gosh.
back to your story.
This
I'm
is
so
a fun
sorry.
episode. The coffee's hitting really well.
Dylan used when he made the coffee, he used what we had for the
Crack?
caffeinated stuff, and then the rest was decaf. So it's not even like 100% caffeinated. I think
Christ.
we're just tired and sun-ridden.
Just
So sorry.
we're riddled with sun right now.
Bum 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 bum. It takes a world to sing it. Perfect harmony. You know talking about?
Fun fact, I actually love that song.
And that's a really good song.
I fucking groove to that shit.
Dude, that band is actually smacks.
If
Not slaps.
smacks.
Not slaps. Smacks.
Yeah,
Smacks
smack
are
mouth.
more disrespectful. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I hope you guys think we're funny too. Oh,
I'm not even sorry right now. We are fucking the shit. Like
we are fucking the shit. Oh, we need to stop laughing. It's making it hotter in here.
Oh my god, I know.
Jesus
I'm sweating.
Christ.
I'm laughing so hard.
God, Jesus.
Sorry.
What?
I just looked down and you're holding your foot and your toes are sticking out.
What's that funny?
It was so unexpected. I didn't expect to look down and see a foot sitting here.
Oh, I fucking can't.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
I think
Really?
once it stops, or once it starts, it can't stop. Now
Oh,
it's just, we're just being ridiculous.
Should we take a few minutes and chill out?
Maybe.
Okay, hold on.
We'll be back. Intermission.
Yuck. I'm so sorry. But anyways, he was part of the orientation group walking around, and you felt the pull.
Yeah. And yeah.
2 Chainz. Wow, that break did.
Okay. The break did not help us.
Jason Derulo. DJ Khaled. Another one. Just go through them. That's all I got.
Oh. It's like half of this episode is us silently wheezing and then slapping our sweaty thighs.
I got the blanket. So
all the slaps are me.
Or like fucking seals over here. Well, I tried to pull us back and then also derailed us in one fell swoop. In the same fucking sentence. I was like, all right, yeah, let's get back on topic. Yeah! Or that was you.
Yes.
Asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah! Why did I laugh like that?
I laughed at me.
I laughed like a fucking salt grinder. I hate myself.
Did you hear your wheeze?
That's why I wheezed harder.
That's the best. We gotta put that in the highlights.
Oh my god. I'm throwing up, actually. In real time. I am literally throwing up. Okay.
It's been over 2 minutes and we haven't accomplished anything here
I
yet.
actually did just throw up phlegm. I hate that for me.
My drink of water that I took a little bit ago, it came back up into my throat because I was still laughing.
Okay. Going back. He was in the orientation group
Yeah, fuck the orientation group at this point. I can't focus.
You kind of did.
I did. And look at that. I got more kids now.
Oh my god. Oh.
No.
I'm so sorry. That was one of those times where it would have been funny if we had video, because when I did that, I could have zoomed in on it.
I know. We really do need to set up a camera.
Oh my god.
You guys need to actually see what we're doing in the recording room, I guess.
My apologies.
Oh my god. That was a nice little knee tap there.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Toby.
Toby
puts his hand on Pam's leg and then jumps over the fence.
I thought you meant
going
the
to
dog.
Costa Rica. Oh! Our dog's name is Toby too. No, I'm talking about Toby Flenderson.
Oh my god.
Anyways, so the orientation group. So then after that, I was like, I need to figure out how I can approach this man. And he was working in a completely different area than me, that I wasn't in very often, but I would see him occasionally come out to the area that I'm working in, you know, kind of ask the managers what's going on, or for, you know, different information, things like that. Which at that place we commonly had to do because our headsets sometimes wouldn't pick up things correctly, or things like that. And, you know, I'd occasionally see him and I'm like, oh, hey, there's that guy. Like, you know, position myself in such a way where he could possibly notice me at all. And woman things. You know, and of course, like, oh my god, he glanced over here. And I actually remember one time I went into the area that he was working in, and the specific aisleway that I went down, he was the only person there. And I was going down that way, and he turned and looked at me, and he stopped what he was doing, and he stood up, and, like, I passed him, and I was like, oh my god, I could have said something to him, but I didn't, because I'm socially awkward.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, cool, he noticed me. Maybe he, like for real notices me, not that I'm just, like, another regular person in that place.
Right.
So of course I'm, you know, how can I approach this person? How can I, you know, introduce myself? How can I do this? And finally, after, it was about a month and a half after he started, and, you know, us seeing each other off and on, I was finally like, okay, this is the day, you know, he's working late, I'm also working late, as well as a bunch of other people. So I'm like, I'm gonna wait and see what he does when he leaves, and see if I can approach him as we're walking out of work. So there I was sitting in the break room. I was eating a fucking pork chop because I was hungry. He comes in and I'm like, oh, here it is. It's go time. It's go time. And so then he's, you know, walking around, like, doing whatever he needs to do in the break room. And I'm like, okay, be cool. And then he sits down right across from me at my table. And I was, like, so caught off guard. I'm like, what the fuck? Abort. This isn't, like, what's going on? This isn't what I planned. And he looks at me and he says, are those Hogwarts pants? And I had to look down because, you know.
Oh, those leggings?
Yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, he spoke to me and I immediately forgot everything. What I was wearing that day.
Brain wipe.
What my name was. So I was like, well, yes, they are. And he said, I think you're my soulmate. And I know that's coming on really strong. But at that point, that confirmed everything I was already feeling. Yeah. And at that point, I didn't know what twin flames were. I didn't know it was a thing. So then we talked about Harry Potter. And that's what caught him. That's what made him finally decide that he was going to talk to me.
Yeah.
Was he was like, oh shit, she loves Harry Potter.
That's the deal breaker.
Yep.
Or not the deal breaker, but the icing on the
icebreaker.
You know what I mean? People say that, icing on the cake.
Yes.
Okay.
I think you were looking for icebreaker though.
No, I was not.
Really?
No.
Oh, they both could have worked. But yeah, icing on the cake is that we both liked Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And fun fact, neither of us like icing on our cake.
I don't like icing on my cake.
That's why you're my soulmate.
I wanted a naked cake for a wedding when we were planning the big one.
I did too, and then after that I just decided to go with donuts, which you also did too.
We were also going to do donuts for our guests. Anyways,
so we had a long chat. After that, we were talking about Harry Potter and everything, and it was funny because, you know, after it was like we had talked for like a couple minutes, and then he started just like leaving, and he was kind of shouting at me like, okay, you know, sorry for, you know, bothering you. You probably have a boyfriend, so I'm just gonna leave. And I literally had to shout out the door like, no, I'm not, I'm single. And he came back to talk to me. And I was like, wow, I probably sounded so desperate. Desperate. I am really desperate. Are there any stalkers in this place? But so then we exchanged numbers, and you know, he left, and I was like, okay, I don't want to walk out together because I don't want it to be weird.
Yeah.
I don't want to be super.
Well, it's like, and people in that place were incredibly nosy and
could not mind
their business. So could you imagine what kind of drama that would have caused if they seen you just leave together after never seeing you guys together at all?
Yep. And so, and I've heard his take on all of this too, and it's just funny, the different coincidences.
Yeah.
So I let him leave, you know, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna pack up my shit. We won't walk out together. We'll just, you know, it's not gonna be, you know,
a big thing.
We just met each other. So, you know, he walked out. Little did I know, he walked out, ran into my best friend who was walking out.
Yeah.
And she was like, hi. And he was like, hi. And but like to him, in his head, he was like, don't talk to me. I'm already with somebody.
Yeah.
And then when
I have a girlfriend.
Yeah. I'm already married. Taken. So when he got to his car, he like got in his car and he high-fived himself because he was like, yep,
Aww.
I finally talked to that girl. And of course I didn't know that at the time. But when I walked out and I got in my car and I did like a little happy dance.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh my gosh, the guy.
It's like a little movie.
Yes. And it kind of reminded me of like 50 First Dates. Like when they go out to the parking lot and they're both
dancing and then the car moves.
Yes.
I fucking love that movie.
It was like just like that, only we didn't notice each other.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until like, you know, after we had been dating for a while that he was like, you know, I high-fived myself when that, and I was like, oh my God, I did like a happy dance in my car.
Yeah.
And I was so excited that I texted my friends afterwards and I was like, oh my God, that guy I talked to that guy.
Yeah.
Whatever. So after dating for a while, like we were just both like everything we didn't just finish each other's sentences. We both would say the same things at the same time because our brains were so in sync.
Yeah.
That the first thing we both thought of, and it would be like weird shit. Like I can't even remember. There were so many like odd synchronicities in the things we said, the things we did.
Yeah.
And I used to write them all down, like in my notes in my phone.
Yeah.
Or keep track of them because they were all so weird. And I like one of the most recent ones. Well, it actually happened a while ago, but because we always put like Disney songs on for the kids in the car, and Poor Unfortunate Souls was playing, and Ursula goes, "What is idle prattle for?" And we both, at the same time after she said that line, we both said idle prattle, and Alex goes, "Did you say that?" And I said, "Yeah, you said that too, didn't you?" And he goes, "I have never said that line at all in my entire life." And I was like, "Me either. That was the first time I ever said that." And he goes, "So we repeated that line at the same time for the first time in our lives?" It was just like things like that. Like we would just say
I can't seriously do that. I'm so
sorry. I can't. That's why I looked away. I couldn't take you seriously.
I nodded and it was going. And I was like, I can't. I can see
something bouncing in your face.
I'm used to things bouncing in my face.
Here we go again.
Not multiple things. Just the one. So sorry.
Just the one.
I'm gonna shut the hell up. Dylan's gonna murder me when he hears that.
Murder? What murder?
What murder?
So anyways, we just had it was such an intense attraction and need to be around each other all the time. Not that like we just needed to be around each other, but like, you know, when we were apart, we were so happy.
Yeah.
Not that we aren't now.
Right.
But this was back when it was new. We just like we were so happy, and that's all we did was just this is such a weird feeling. We never felt this way with anyone before.
Yeah.
So immediately.
Yeah.
So I started doing research, and I'm like, what is this? What could this possibly be? Because I literally feel like this guy is the other half of me. It's insane. We think about the same things, we do the same thing. I mean, obviously we're different people, and
Right.
we also do different things. But it's just like even our upbringings were the same.
Yeah.
I mean, we have like slightly different trauma, but like our mindsets that we have that formed because of our upbringing are
Right.
so similar.
That's how Dylan and I are too.
Yeah.
Like we had different upbringings, but we have the same mindset because of our upbringings.
Yeah. So looking into it, like I was like, I found twin flames. And I was like, that has to be what it is. And then I looked at like all the different kinds of definition of how like the stories people have and like talking about twin flames, and I'm like, I don't align with any of that, but I 100% believe that that man, his body is literally carrying the other half of my soul.
Yeah.
Because and that's how I felt my entire life, is that I've had to be looking for somebody. And it's not because I'm unhappy unless I'm in a relationship.
Yeah.
But I have felt so lost my entire life. And like it sucked, you know, like going through school and just being like, why do I feel so apart from all these people? Like why do I feel so like something is missing?
Yeah.
And it's because it was.
That's how I felt with all of my boyfriends before Dylan, which is crazy because of how young I was.
Mhm.
But every time I dated somebody, I was like, something's just not right.
Yeah.
There's something that's not here that I'm missing. I never ever had with them what I needed. Like I was
Yeah.
never satisfied.
Mhm.
Like mentally, and like I could feel it in my body that like something was wrong.
Yeah.
And I actually met Dylan my sophomore year of high school, his junior year of high school, because we did journalism together. And he wanted to go out and sell ads, but you needed a partner, and his partner wasn't there for the day.
I remember you telling me this story.
I was in a group of 4 other girls, and they didn't want to go out to sell ads, but I did.
Mm-hmm.
So he needed a partner. He wanted to go out. I needed a partner, and or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I overheard our teacher say, well, you need a partner. So if somebody wants to go with you, like, go ahead. And I immediately was like, I'll go. And then I saw him, and I saw how cute he was. And I was like, oh, I'm going to seem too eager. I don't want him. I was like, he's cute, but I don't want him to think that I'm going because he's cute, you know, type of thing.
Yeah.
And so we went, and we go out to the parking lot, and he's got his 64 truck.
Yep.
And it was a little chilly, so he had to start the heat up, and he's like, I'm so sorry, like it's gonna take me a second. I was like, no, yeah, do what you gotta do. And he opened the door for me, and I got in, and I sat there waiting while he opened the hood and, you know, started the heat from underneath the hood and everything.
Yeah.
And he apologized for it taking a hot second. I was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a very patient person. Like, you do what you
Yeah.
gotta do. I think this thing's cool.
Mhm.
And we rode in silence.
You're a car person.
Yeah. We rode in silence, and we went and sold ads together. And it was just kind of, he was telling me that he specifically remembers it was an awkward silence. And he remembers me going, I like your truck. And he was like, oh my God, is she flirting with me right now? And I'm like, I probably was, and not meaning
flirting?
to. Yeah. And then after that, we'd never spoken to each other again. And then,
well, you know what? My brother at that time, he was also an extremely awkward person.
Yeah.
Like, he just couldn't.
That's fair.
His throat chakra was so blocked.
Yeah.
It's so bad. Like, I remember having to take him to go get, like, his tux for prom, I think,
Yeah.
when he was a junior. And he couldn't talk
Oh
the
my
whole time.
goodness.
And, of course, like, whatever I was, 23,
Yeah.
24. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take my little brother to go get his tux and
Right.
stuff. Whatever. And, I was more fluent at that point, but also when I was that age, I was so awkward too.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't talk. So, like, I get it.
Right.
Him and I are so similar.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's them Scorpio placements. Don't diddle
Yeah.
my knee.
Diddle.
um,
You diddled mine first.
that's fair. But so after that, we didn't talk to each other. And then my junior year is when my dad left my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going through a really rough emotional patch.
Which was his senior year.
Mm-hmm. And it was rough for me because not only had my dad left my mom, but right before that is I went through one of the hardest breakups I've ever went to because my ex-boyfriend had basically told me that his parents were making us break up, and then I found out he was cheating on me.
Yeah.
Which we talked about in the last episode, I think. And I was dating, but like not seriously, because the people I was dating, they didn't want me for me. They wanted me because they thought I was going to have sex with them.
Yeah.
Type deal.
They wanted
and I didn't want to.
Right.
And it was just rough, and Stevie saw how rough it was.
Yeah.
And her and her boyfriend didn't think that Dylan and I were going to keep dating. They just wanted us to hook up. they thought that we were just going to hook up and be done with it. And they're not together anymore, and Dylan and I are married.
That's what's so funny about the four of you, I guess.
But so that I remember one morning, it was right after we moved into the trailer my mom lives in now, like a month later, I think. I woke up to a text message from Stevie saying like, hey, what do you think about Dylan? And I was like, oh, well, yeah, he's cute, but like, I've never talked to him. I don't know anything about him. And her boyfriend had asked Dylan what he thought of me, and he said basically the same thing. And I think we remembered each other from journalism at the time.
Yeah.
And so they set up like a double date for all of us to go to.
Yeah.
And Dylan and I talked all day, like texting. And it was like super cute. I don't remember what we talked about. I think it was just like, bullshit, fluffy things because we were high school kids. And then later that night, we all decided to go to Big B and meet up and have coffee together. So he picked me up again in his 64 Ford.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing it, and I was like, I'm going to wait inside and see if he texts me or if he comes to the door. Because one of the dates I had been on before, the guy texted me to tell me that he was there.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, well, a real man would come to the door and come get you. And so I texted him back, and I was like, you should come to the door. And he did so very hesitantly.
Yeah.
And then after that date,
because he's socially awkward.
Right. Well, this isn't Dylan. This is the other guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we went on the date, and it was such an awkward date. Like I personally like had fun, but looking back, it was kind of awkward because we went walking around the mall and didn't go into any stores. We literally walked around the mall for probably like 2 hours, just not even really talking.
You know what's so funny is the first time I hung out with Alex, that's exactly what we did.
Really? That's so funny. But you guys probably actually did stuff.
You know what?
Like that guy and I literally walked around the mall, not even doing anything fun, just walking and barely talking.
Well, the only reason why Alex and I did that is because we were both living with our parents at the time.
Yeah.
Like we had both had to move back to our parents, and that's where. So we're like, well, okay, well, we're not gonna go to either of our places because no. So we walked around the mall, but like when I first, when we like, first like greeted each other at the mall, he was like, okay, so I made like this fun little spinning wheel with a bunch of questions on it. So we can like,
cute.
answer questions and like do, and I was like,
look at him go.
This guy's actually trying.
Yeah.
Like, cause you don't know what to expect.
Yeah. And that's kind of like what was hard about that date I was just talking about, because nothing happened. And I remember texting that guy and saying like, hey, like I had fun. Like I'd like to do it again. And he never texted me back. and we were in auto tech together, and he never talked to me after that. He kind of just like ghosted me a little bit. And I remember like I went through the like, what did I do wrong? Like what happened? And I've come to terms with like nothing went wrong. It just didn't,
you just don't
nothing
vibe.
went. Yeah. But then so Dylan and I we went on the double date with Stevie and her boyfriend, and we went to Bigby. And then at Bigby decided to spontaneously go see a movie. And it was, I think that's like the 511 to Paris or something. It's a movie about like, it's based on real events, and it's people on a train in Paris, and it gets taken over by terrorists, and they're fighting off the terrorists. And it was a cool movie.
Yeah.
And then we went and got pizza all together, and we went to the park, and we all played at the park, and it was like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And then we got pizza and went back to Stevie's mom's, and then he drove me home. And that's our first date, and we've been together ever since.
Aww.
And we never like officially were like, you want to be my boyfriend? You want to be my girlfriend? We just kind of like were like, we didn't even have to verbalize to each other that we were exclusively dating each other, because we just kind of knew.
Yeah. And that's what you just started telling other people.
Yeah. And we didn't even have to tell people because of how small the school is.
Oh yeah.
Like he would come after he got out of auto tech. He would get back to the school, and he'd come straight to my math class. Yeah. And he'd walk me to my car from math class every day after school. Yeah. He was such a sweet kid. He's a sweet guy, but
he's
he
still
was
a sweet
kid.
Person.
Yeah. Kid, I say. He was 18, technically an adult.
Yeah. Yeah, Dylan's a very sweet person. He always has been.
Which is why, like, I look back at the whole one relationship he'd been in, and then the other situationship he was in, and I'm like, what did they not see? Yeah. Because I can't say what did they see in him, because obviously they didn't see anything. They didn't see what I saw.
Well,
but also, like, how much of that was them not wanting to take the time to see what I saw?
Well, also, I know, I mean, that was high school too. Yeah. A lot of people in high school have high school mindsets, and something Dylan has always had along with me. That's just because that's what we've always had.
And me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And like in our family is there's more to life than high school. Yep. And also, Dylan, he doesn't deal with bullshit. No. Like when they give bullshit, he's like, I don't have time for this. Yeah. Like I've got time, but not for this. So in one of his situationships, I mean, this girl was telling him, like, basically after he told her like what one of his like dreams was. Yeah. Yeah. She was basically like, that's stupid. Like, why would you want to do that? And he told me that, and I straight up was like, dump her ass. Yeah. Get her the fuck away from you. She can't like be like, oh hey, that's really cool. Like, what's funny? I want to learn about you and more of why you like this. Like, that sounds so fun and adventurous. Like, and all he wanted to do was fucking go to the salt flats in Utah.
He just wanted to drive his truck to Utah. He wanted to go out west and just enjoy the West, which is funny that happened, because I think not immediately after, but I think I came after her. And he talked to me about that, and my reaction was, oh my god, that's so cool. We should do that one day. I can't wait to do that with you, or whatever.
Exactly.
And that's something that I think I would scare away my boyfriends with, is because when I made plans, it wasn't just me. And if they made plans and they were talking to me about it, I wasn't seeing it as, oh, that's their plans. That's us. We are together. We are a relationship. In high school, I'm like, us, us. Yeah. And I'm always making plans. Yeah. And so I think that that's funny that happened that way. Because I'm an adventurous person. I like to go do things. I like to explore. And the fact that he also wanted to explore, I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it together and have fun together. And what's funny is now I don't like traveling without him. Yeah, I've traveled a few times without him, and I'm like, I don't.
This would be so much more fun if Dylan was with me.
I get stressed out if he's not with me, and I don't know what it is, like long distance wise. Yeah. And I think it's so much so because I see him as my peace. Yeah. Like he is what helps balance me out, just like I help balance him. Yeah. And now that we found each other and we work so well together and we've grown together too. Yeah. It's hard to be apart long distance like that without the other half.
With your twin flame.
My twin flame.
Once you have felt how it is together,
Mm-hmm.
it is, I feel it's almost impossible to stand being
Right.
apart. And that is one of the reasons why I think the fact that they always say twin flames don't end up with each other is bullshit. Because there is no way, like, if that's your true twin flame,
why would your soul be searching for its other half to ultimately not end up with it?
Right.
For it.
Well, like, how can you live without that person?
Yeah.
How can that person live without you?
Right.
I don't understand that feeling. Like,
Yeah.
I can't, because we wouldn't. We could not. Like, Alex has told me multiple times, if not you, no one.
Yeah.
If not you, no one for
I
me.
have.
He's like, I will go to a fucking island and live there in a cabin by myself for the rest of my life.
I have told Dylan multiple times that if he dies, I'm not being with anybody else.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can see the attraction a little bit.
When I first started liking the band, he looked like this. I was 13, and I think he was. How old is he?
When's his birthday?
He's 26, so he's 3 years older than me. I think he's a Virgo.
That's funny. I would have almost guessed a Leo, to be honest. Based on his
You know what? He might be.
Picture.
I think his birthday's in September. Nope. He's a
Virgo.
Cancer.
Oh, really?
July 16th.
Oh,
1996.
Wait.
The math. Wait. Yeah, because you were. Yeah. The math is math. And go ahead and say what you're going to say. I'm going to look up the birth chart. Because I'm a nosy bitch.
See, if everything turns into astrology. Everything.
If you somehow find this, Luke, I'm so sorry. I'm not creepy, I swear. I'm just a nosy bitch.
Are you really sorry, though?
Yeah. Because I don't want this coming back to me in a negative light.
Oh, it's not going to.
If he meets me and then sees all this shit first, he's going to think I'm a creepy asshole. And I
can't see it because it's a podcast.
That's true. He can see.
You stopped and you thought about it.
No, but he can see. He can like find all my old cringy Instagram posts about 5 Seconds of Summer, like all the edits I've made when I was 14.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if he's 26 years old, he does not give a fuck about what somebody did when they were 14.
That's fair.
Because he's like, yeah, you were 14. Every girl did that shit when they were 14.
His moon's in Cancer.
Oh wow,
he's a Scorpio rising.
I'm a Scorpio rising.
He's a Cancer sun, Cancer moon, Scorpio rising, Cancer Mercury, Venus and Gemini, Gemini Mars, Capricorn Jupiter, Saturn Aries, Uranus Aquarius, because that's a
generation.
Neptune Capricorn. His Pluto's in Sagittarius, and his North Node is in Libra.
Interesting.
I think I've just fallen more in love with this man. All of his water placements. That's why I like their music, probably.
I was going to say that's why he probably has good music, because it's all the feelings in it.
Dude, when I listen to their music, I do have a lot of feelings. Like, especially, I'm trying to remember what album it is. It was, I think it's Calm. I really fucking like that one. But, like, 3 of their albums are, like, 3 of the songs on that album are sex songs. And I'm like, yes.
You know what is funny? I think somewhere I heard that you tend to listen to music of artists who have the same moon sign as you, because you feel
I'm gonna have to look at later, not now. I'll look at the moon signs for the other boys, because they all write their songs. There's 4 of them. You should
look at the songs that each of them have written and find out if you like the ones more that he wrote or others. Everything comes back to astrology.
Yeah, it does.
You guys will find this out more when we do our astrology stuff.
Which is coming up. That's going to be our
probably like our summer project.
Yeah, I think that's technically going to be our second series, because I think our first one I'll group together into like a marriage series.
Oh yeah.
Would you consider this episode like the end of, not the end, but like the marriage relationships series? Yeah, because we're going into astrology next.
Yeah, we keep talking about it. We might as well just go into it right after this.
I think that is what we have planned next, though.
Yeah. Let's see. So we were talking about twin flame. Yeah. I don't.
Luke Hemmings is my twin flame. Oh my god, soulmates, besties.
That it really is weird though that you guys have the same moon sign.
Dude, when I saw that, my heart did like like the fangirl in me was like like crying.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
That's gonna make the concert more like I think emotionally intense for me now that I know that.
Jesus for Christ. Sure. So yeah, soulmates and twin flames and life partners.
Do we have any more to add on to that? Because I
don't think so. I'm gonna reiterate the fact that, like, if you out there listening to this truly believe that somebody who shares the same soul as you can hurt you in a relationship and traumatize you and not give a fuck about your feelings and how they affect you, I'm not understanding why you would think that they are your twin flame.
Yeah.
Like, you can think what you want. You can do what
There's
you want. I'm not telling you what to do.
For that. There has to be.
Yeah.
For like a false twin flame.
I think there is something out there that's a false twin flame.
False twin flames are the devil. Sorry. Okay.
Ben Franklin didn't invent twin flames. I invented twin flames.
I feel like I need to validate my thought process for that reference because we were talking about false twin flames and I was like, it's just Satan in disguise.
Yeah.
And that's where my brain took me. It's a devil.
Devil.
But just to touch on it a little bit, you mentioned that all of your soulmates were like off chance or on by chance meetings. And I kind of like listening to you say that. I feel the same way about who I said my soulmates were, Cheyenne and Stevie.
Mm-hmm.
Because I met Stevie when I moved into town for the very first time, and she just so happened to live 2 doors down.
Yeah.
And I was actually waiting on our front porch, waiting for a different friend to come over. She didn't, and Stevie came over with like 3 other kids who lived behind me, and she just goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, I'm sitting on my porch. And she's like, "I'm Stevie." And I said, "I'm Mary." And like she's like, "Do you want to play with us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Why the fuck not?" And like ever since that day we've been best friends. And we've definitely been at odds. Don't get me wrong. We've had issues. There's been multiple points where we've had a friend break up and come back together.
Yeah.
And
I actually had that too with my friend from high school.
Yeah.
Like, and it was it was like hey, I didn't like what you said.
Yeah.
Bye. And
that's how it was for me and Stevie.
Yeah.
It was like, I remember one time, it was after she started dating her boyfriend that I mentioned earlier. And she was like, "I think I want to have sex with this guy." And I was like, I don't like that. Because they had only been dating for like, what, 3 months, I think, at the time. And I was
high school.
In high school, yeah. And I was like, I don't like that. Your morals are kind of stupid there. Why wouldn't you want to date longer? And she was like,
"Don't you want to find out if this guy is a weirdo or not?"
And she was like, it just feels right. I feel so comfortable and safe with him and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't like that choice you're making, so I don't think I want to be friends with you anymore. And she was like, whatever.
Fine. Our friendship is expired anyways.
They actually ended up dating for like 4 or 5 years or something.
Yeah,
and then
a while.
Like they dated for a long time, so I'll give her that. But what's funny is the hypocrisy in what I said, because a few years later I meet Dylan, and then after 3 months I had sex with him. But
hypocrite.
I was just like, I felt so safe with Dylan. And I feel like
you were also older with Dylan.
I was older with Dylan, but also I was picky with the other guys too. There was a lot of guys that I had said no to because I was like, I can't trust you if I get pregnant, or they were not prepared, or I was not on birth control or something. And I was like, I'm 16. I cannot have a kid right now. And if I do end up having a kid, I can't trust you to be there because you're not there for me now.
Your Leo risings are picky.
Yeah. Well, and my mom always taught me to be picky too. Yeah. She was like, you have to be careful with who you have a baby with because you will be stuck with them for life.
Yeah.
And so that's the mindset I grew up with. And then I met Dylan, and like after being around you guys and meeting mom and dad and just seeing him as a person and just feeling it in my soul, I was like, if for whatever reason I end up pregnant at 17 years old, I know I can trust every single one of these people, not just Dylan, but I
Yeah.
could have trusted you and I could have trusted, I knew
Mhm.
I could trust mom.
Oh,
I
yeah.
knew that if I ended up pregnant, mom would have made sure, and she wouldn't have needed to,
Yeah.
but she would have made sure that he would have been there and dad would have done the same
Oh,
thing.
and I would have too.
Yeah,
I fucking kicked
absolutely.
his ass.
Dude, when you found out I was pregnant and I was 21 or 20 years old, you were like, "You better take care of her, you asshole." You little
Stop being a
shit.
little shit
Yeah.
right now.
But I I there wasn't a lot of guys I had said no to, but,
Mhm.
like, my ex-boyfriend my sophomore year, I had said no to, and I actually he was like, "When can we have sex?" And I'm like, "I wanna be dating for a while
Yeah.
before we do anything." And I feel like that's the reason he broke up with
Mhm.
me. His best friend, I never even dated him, and he wanted to have sex, and I remember I was like, "Do you have a condom?" And he goes, "No," and I'm like, "Then we're not having sex. I'm not doing that."
First of all, any guy that's going to
Mhm.
do that and be like, "Well, I'm not prepared," like,
Yeah.
fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
What
Like,
would have
get
had
out of here,
I
you
and
child.
I was on birth control,
Yeah.
but I was not gonna chance getting pregnant. Like,
Right. Well, also, like, if they're gonna ask for that and then be irresponsible
yep,
from the beginning, it's like, okay,
yeah.
no, you
I
don't
straight up
deserve it.
I
You
straight
don't
up told
deserve
him
it.
no. I was like, "We're not doing this then."
Yeah.
Um, and then I think that's
Mhm.
actually it, but there was, like, other guys that I could tell were only in my life because I thought I was gonna have sex with them, and I'm like, "Oh, hair?"
Yep.
And I was like, "I'm not doing that." And then I met Dylan, I was just like, "This is the guy."
Yeah.
And
And
we did
plus,
the
he's not gonna push it either.
No, he was like, "We will do it on kids," because he didn't have a timeline. He didn't give a
Yeah.
shit. He
Well,
was
that's again, Dylan was looking for a companion.
Yes,
He's always
a
been looking
life
for.
partner.
Yes.
But he was like, "We will do it whenever you're comfortable." And I did the cliche thing, and I'm like, "Let's do prom night. Let's do it on prom night."
Lame.
Yeah. We came I mean, but we you know what, Jamie? We came home and there was nobody in the fucking house. We came home at 11 o'clock at night and you weren't here and mom and dad were
Ah,
gone and we're like, this is fucking perfect.
lame.
And I remember my mom was like, "You can't spend the night, but I don't care when you come home. Just let me know that you have come home." So I came home at like 2 in the morning. But then what's funny is the next morning, Stevie's mom took me and Stevie and like a few other people that had went to prom. She took us all out to breakfast.
Uh-huh.
And she goes, "Did you have sex last night?" And I'm like, "How the fuck? What the hell's wrong with you?" And she's like, "You just have like a different glow about you. Like you have a different look. You look like happy or whatever." And I'm like, "You know what? You already know. So I'm just going
Fuck
to tell
out of
you.
here,
Yes.
mom.
Yes, I did, Stevie's mom." And then I remember I told my mom, I think like a week later
Yeah.
in an Arby's, and she goes, "I know." And I'm like, "Okay, that made it easier." But what's funny is Dylan told me that when he told your guys' mom, he was like, "I need to tell you guys something." And mom goes, "Mary's pregnant." He's like, "No, but that makes this so much easier."
Right.
Like,
No, but you're gonna love to hear this now.
yeah. But that's
That's
that.
funny. I never did anything on prom.
Yeah.
First of all, because I never actually got asked to prom by anybody, um, which I'm not at all salty about because I didn't peak in high school. I peaked after high school. So
I don't think I ever
fuck
peaked.
out of here. Um, but and it wouldn't have mattered anyways because I would have said, "Go away, like don't touch me." Like, do you deserve to touch me right now? Do you deserve for me to have sex? No, you
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Like I was very big on that. Like you show me that you fucking deserve it
Mhm.
and maybe. Um and that was my first relationship. He not once said anything to me about it.
Yeah,
Didn't ask, didn't question. Like
yeah.
he just waited
Good.
patiently.
As you
Patiently
should.
waited.
If you're a
Didn't have
man
any
listening,
yeah.
do that.
He didn't have any expectations. I didn't have somebody looming over me all the
Yeah.
time just waiting. Do you know how annoying that is?
How
Like, do you know how
uncomfortable it is.
yes,
And me
even with
personally
when you're like a guy friend and you're like, "Oh, like you we're just friends. I'm just waiting for her." Like I'm in the friend zone. Do
that's
you know how
awful.
disgusting and annoying that is for you to just loom over a
Well, and you
girl
know
just
what
waiting?
hurts
Like
is
gross. Get out
most
of here.
women will just do it so it stops.
Yes.
Which
and
sucks.
that's what's sad.
Yeah, it's
like
sad.
I have to do it just so he gets off my back on it. Like,
but
gross.
Me personally, because of how spiteful of a person I am,
Same.
I would be like, no, we don't never get to.
Yep.
If you're gonna be an asshole
No, I'm
about
never
it,
going to.
you never get to touch me.
Yeah.
You'll never see me again.
And then my husband's like that.
Yeah.
He not once asked about it, didn't expect anything, didn't question anything, just patiently waited, and he didn't make it weird. Like, he just we didn't even feel the need to like really have like any kind of like physical intimacy for a long time.
You guys had a lot of you had a mental connection.
Yeah, we developed our friendship first.
And which is very important.
And that's what we both wanted to do anyways.
Yeah.
Plus I needed to see if he fucking deserved it.
Yeah.
Which
as you should. Which women need to do.
Yeah.
I mean, and men.
Yeah.
You need to make people prove that they deserve you. You need to make them show that they should be in your life. What?
And if they don't...
Why are you pointing at me? Yeah. Cool. Wayne's World moment. Cool. But yeah, I mean, and that's something I tell Cheyenne all the time. I was like, you need to make them take you out on dates. Actually spend time with you. Actually prove that they deserve to have your time. Also, and you need to prove to them that you deserve their time. And like, it's vice versa. It's a two-way street.
Right. Well, you also need to prove to them that you are worth it.
Yes.
You are worth the wait. And this is for anyone who's actually looking for a relationship.
Yeah.
Like, if you're already looking for a relationship and you just give everything away all in the beginning, it's like you're not
going to get the right people doing that is the problem. No. Like, you might attract people and it will feel good momentarily, but then you'll realize that person's not with me for the right reasons.
Right.
And it'll be just a fleeting relationship. If you're looking for something long term, you cannot show them all your cards right when you get dealt them. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be like,
you have to cultivate something.
What do I
you have to, poke at the little burning embers there. You can't, it's like a fire. Like, if you think about it, a relationship is like a fire.
Yeah.
Yes, there's the fire starter and it, starts, but anything that starts burning really fast will go out really fast. It will 100% every single time.
You need to fan it and air it out and feed it now and then.
Yeah, you get that big log on the fire that's going to burn slowly for a long time. That's what you want. If you want a relationship, that is what you're looking for.
I love how this went from twin flames and soulmates into relationship advice.
But I still talking about fire.
Yes. I'm fire.
I'm water.
And we are at odds. Oh my god.
But yeah. So there's relationship advice. And this isn't just like, well, here's what we think. This is relationship advice that won't steer you wrong.
Yeah.
And if somebody leaves you
coming from two married chicks.
Right. In happy relationships. If somebody leaves you because you won't put out fast enough for them,
you don't
want them.
Yeah.
Why do you want them?
Right.
If you're not good enough for them to stay without sex, why do you want them?
Yes.
You shouldn't. Well, you should have more respect for yourself.
Well, they were just so good, just nobody else saw it. They weren't good.
Why were they good?
If they were just here for your body, they weren't good. No matter what color of rose glasses you put on, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yep.
Ugh, I could go on. This is the same dating advice I have given Cheyenne multiple times. So I hope you're hearing this and whatever.
Blasting you on my podcast.
I blast her all the time. Like,
wow.
Okay. It brings me back to that Facebook post we were talking about. One of our mutual friends shared like a zodiac thing on Facebook where it was like people think I'm a blank, but my friends know I'm a blank blank. And it was like your rising sun moon sign and it had words next to it. And mine was people think I'm dramatic, but my friends know I'm an optimistic lover. And I'm like, I'm not a slut.
This says I'm open to things.
I'm not a swinger.
Swingers.
Sorry, you can't have my husband. Anyways.
You can't have my husband because he's my twin flame.
If you touch my husband, you will be buried in my backyard. That's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I remember one time, this is kind of off topic, but when Dylan was working in landscaping, he was landscaping.
Oh, I remember that.
He was like weed whipping apartments. And he saw some girls staring at him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was before we were engaged, but I only had a ring. But I had previously gotten him a promise ring for Christmas.
Yeah.
And so he saw them staring and he like low-key like flashed his ring at them. And when he told me that, I was like, ah!
My body is ready.
Put a baby in me. Approximately a year later, he did. Jesus Christ.
So that reminds me of when my husband and I we were dating for I think almost 6 months at the time. And he ended up getting sent to Pennsylvania for work for like a month.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you know, like I was like really sad.
Yeah.
And of course, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, wow, he could do anything out there.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't know it, and I never would because and you know, like we're not super like we've only been dating for 6 months. Like so if he does something, I like literally have to 100% trust him. And like I wasn't like an issue in my head though, because already in my head I was like, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
First of all, because he wouldn't do that to me.
Yeah.
And secondly, I'm awesome.
Yeah.
And anyone who does that to me
doesn't deserve me. Yeah.
And we talked every single night. He ended up getting his own hotel room instead of having to share a hotel room with somebody.
Aww.
Like he volunteered for it though because he hates people.
What was that?
Oh, it was my cleanup alarm.
Okay.
At 8:00 for my kids to clean up before bedtime.
Gotcha.
So like so he hates people, so he volunteered to get the one hotel room that was by itself, which I mean that could be turned into like, oh, you need a hotel room all to yourself, so you can
I
use
wouldn't
it for
have thought
yourself.
It like that.
And I didn't think about it like that either. But like
I mean,
other
if
people
you know your partner well enough to know that he just like doesn't like people, that's not going to cross your mind.
Yeah.
So
but it was would wake up.
The people we used to work with, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Some of y'all were really cool though.
Yeah, some of y'all were really cool. There's a few of you I miss.
I do miss a handful of people from work.
I think one of them accidentally called me. And I'll have to tell you about that when we're done.
Yeah.
Because I texted them and they never answered. And I'm like, I kind of wish he would have answered me.
I kind of wish I would have answered you.
I'm kind of hoping, because I texted him, like I said, I texted him, and I'm kind of hoping it wasn't like he still had my contact in his phone, and he had a girlfriend, and I'm hoping she didn't like go through his phone and see my name and think that something was up.
Oh. Yeah, that'd be weird.
Yeah, I would feel really bad because I was like, hey, I saw you call. What'd you need?
Right.
And then nobody responded. I'm like,
yikes.
I'm not sleeping with him. I'm only sleeping with one
man. Anyway, so my husband, he would get up. He's a runner. So he'd wake up. He'd go for a run, come back, shower, get ready for work. And then when work was done, he would just come back to the hotel room and keep to himself.
Yeah.
The whole time. And I knew he was there keeping to himself because we would make voice messages back and forth. If we were like, if I was busy, it would just have to be voice messages. But then later on at night, we stayed on the phone for like 3 hours every single night.
I remember you guys sending voice messages back and forth because it would be like long ass voice messages and you would be listening to it like you were doing something. Like I would come out of this room to go downstairs, and I would see you running around doing stuff in your room because your door would be open, and I would hear Alex's voice.
Yeah. His voice messages, which were nice.
Yeah.
And I remember he told me the story because a lot of people that went out that way as like the group from work, a lot of them were just, being promiscuous and whatnot. And
sluts.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people do in that situation too. So, and of course the people at that location were all like, oh, hey, let's get with these people.
Yeah, new people. New school.
Yeah. And somebody came up to, he was telling me that somebody came up to him and was like, hey, my friend was wondering if she could like talk to you and like get to know you and stuff. And he was like, I straight up looked at that chick and said, I have enough friends, and left.
Yeah.
Because my husband hates having friends. And he literally actually just was talking to me about this last night, about how much of a waste of time it is for him to have friends.
That's funny.
Like, he just can't. He's like, it's such a like they're so time consuming. It's such a waste of time. Like, the only friend I need is my wife and my children. That's it. That's all I need. He's like, and honestly, I can't believe I ever wasted time on any other person in my entire life. Like, why did I waste time with those people? Which is, he's got a shit ton of 8th house energy, which is just cut him off.
Yeah.
But, and I always thought that was funny. Like, I have enough friends. Bye.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that was all I was going to say on that, because it was just that story. But we talked. He was gone for a whole month. We talked every single night. Sometimes I would fall asleep on the phone, or he would fall asleep.
That's the best. Dylan and I used to do that sometimes, and that was always a good feeling.
I mean, like, you hate when you're apart.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously we're not ever going to do that again, because that would mean we're apart.
Right. And what sucks is that some people would hear that, like, oh, you hate being apart. That's so, like, codependent. That's so, like, like, toxic, kind of. And it's like, that's what happens when you're comfortable with who you're with.
Yeah.
That's
what happens when that person is your home.
That's what I was going to say.
Really?
Yeah. And literally, like, Dylan is my home now. Like, I feel, and I was listening to a different podcast yesterday, and they are like, they give marriage and relationship advice.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to their, like, little, like, check-in whatever, and it's a self-accountability thing where they ask you the question and you think about it for yourself or for your partner, and it's like, am I getting this from my partner? Am I giving this to them? And one of the questions is like, do you 100% feel safe with your partner? Because if not, you should not be in that relationship.
Yeah.
And I tell Dylan all the time, I feel 100% safe with him. I know that he will protect not just me, but our child from anything and everything that happens ever. I trust him 100%. And I probably do not trust anybody more than I trust him. I never trusted my father as much as I trust him, especially even growing up when my dad was my best friend.
Yeah.
Like, I never felt that safe with my dad.
Yeah.
But now I'm with Dylan, and I'm like, why would I want to be apart from you? I know you can keep me safe. And it's not like I don't trust myself to keep myself safe. Yeah. I just feel safer with him.
Yeah. But also you feel home.
Yes.
And it's different, because they're like, oh yeah, that's so dependent or codependent, or why can't you live without that person? Why can't you be whole by yourself?
Yeah.
Because that is my twin flame.
Yes. Yep.
That is my twin flame. I am not whole by myself.
No. And that's like, and when I wrote my vows, this was before I knew what twin flames were, but literally in my vows, it's like, it's like I was like a puzzle missing a piece until you were placed in my life.
Yeah.
And like, I go on for a few different one of those, and it's like, I feel like I was never truly myself until I found you or whatever. And it's true. Like, I feel more me when I'm with him than I am without him.
Yeah. They give you the freedom and the safety to be able to open up and live to your true potential.
Yep.
Be your most authentic self.
He has encouraged me to pursue the hobbies that I actually like. He
Mhm.
in the style that I actually like. Like when I went through my emo phase, I loved going through my emo phase, and I love that style, and I want to bring it back. And he encourages it because
Mhm.
he likes it. But like he's like,
Yeah.
I want you to be you,
Where's his Venus?
Virgo,
Oh, okay.
which is wild to me that he's attracted to me. But it's just he wants me to be so authentically me.
Mhm.
And I had never
That's what you want
experienced
when you love somebody. You want them to be
right.
themselves.
Well, and it's funny that that's who he is. He wants me to be myself and he wants me to be authentically me, and I have an Aquarius Venus and I
Mhm.
just want to be
An alien.
authentically, yeah, I want to be myself. I
Yeah.
want to be different than everybody else. And I
Yeah.
am different from everybody else.
Mhm.
And he's different from everybody else too.
Yeah.
Like he's such a
He
unique
stands out.
person. And I think that's a lot of the reason why I was like, yes, this one, because nobody
Yeah.
else really, none of my other
This one.
boyfriends were
This
that
one's good.
unique. Yeah, none of my boyfriends were that unique. They were all kind of the same person
Yeah.
or were the same as everybody else.
Mhm.
And then I come across Dylan. He's got an old truck. He listens to old music. He's got a different style than everybody else.
Yeah.
He's quiet. He's introverted. He doesn't need people's validation. He just kind of is comfortable with himself.
Yeah.
I was very much so not like that. Dylan and I were very, very different as teenagers. Very,
Yeah.
very different people.
Well, that's me and Dylan. I mean, like, not just being raised by the same parents and growing up in the same house. I don't know what it is, but I don't remember my parents actually ever saying it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just me and Dylan always took so much pride in being unique.
Yeah.
Like, very unique. And we absolutely hated people that did the same things as everybody else. Like, we despised them. And I think a lot of times we would be different out of spite too, just to spite them. And we actually commonly talk about people who go with the flow,
Yeah.
like of just doing what everyone else does. We call them dead fish because a dead fish will go with the flow.
Yeah.
Like, don't be a dead fish. Um, I should make a T-shirt that says that.
Don't
Some
be a
bumper
dead
stickers.
fish.
Don't be a dead fish.
So I'm just looking at your
That
guys'
reminds
charts and see
me.
if you guys have any of similar placements.
I know we both have an Aries moon.
Well, yeah.
And we both have a Capricorn North Node. But that reminds me of Chris D'Elia. He calls people who need constant stimulation all the time kudas.
Okay.
Like barracudas, because
Yeah.
barracudas like constantly need stimulation.
Fucking...
So it's like a way for him to call these people stupid, essentially. He calls them kudas. I call them dead fish.
That's dumb. I can only compare charts to my chart, not like yours to Dylan's.
Oh, like side by sides?
Yeah.
Boo. We can add that to the
We can
astrology.
talk that more. Yeah, because I can write it down on paper. I'm not going to take time to do this right now.
Yeah.
I'm lazy.
I think that's it for the
yeah, we should probably stop. We've got kids to tend to.
I know.
I don't know if mine's sleeping, but I know she's probably hungry.
Yeah, mine's probably hungry too. We went way overboard on this episode. It's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
It's whatever.
Yep.
Forget about it.
So this has been a very ditzy episode of the Ditsy Chicks.
Oh, God.
I am Jamie, and that is Mary.
I am Mary. That is Jamie.
It's me, Jamie.
It's me. It's Creepy Dave.
Here come Creepy Dave. It's me, Creepy Jamie.
Look out, crows. It's Creepy Jamie.
It's Creepy Mary. Creepy Jamie peed all over.
Oh, no, it's everywhere. I love this so much. Oh, my fucking God.
That's my favorite thing. Either way, I don't think there's anything special happening this week that this episode airs.
No.
So it'll be a timeless episode for all of you to listen to whenever. But at the time of recording, it's June and it's already hot. It's nice. We threw a yard sale. We're getting shit done. We're getting our lives together, cleaning out, clearing out, making room for better things in our lives, better choices, more organization. And we hope you guys are finding a way to take care of yourselves, self-care, doing the same,
stay
clearing
hydrated,
out negative things.
regardless of where you are. Because I'm
For
sure,
the love of God,
I'm
hydrate.
sure if you are listening to this and you're in the West or in the South, it's hot as balls. Please stay hydrated, take care of your body. And even like if you're in the Midwest or northeast regions, it's getting hot, and it's worse here because it's fucking humid. So please stay hydrated and keep yourself cool.
Love yourself. Love your body.
Love yourself.
You love yourself. You worry about yourself.
You worry about yourself.
You love yourself.
Okay.
We're gonna go love ourselves.
We're gonna go love our kids.
Yes.
And our husbands.
I need kid hugs from my kids.
I'm missing my twin flame.
Ah, me too.
Yeah, we should go take care of them.
Hug them.
Take care of them. Yeah. No, we're stay-at-home moms. They take care of us.
We gotta go take care of them. All right. Peace out, guys.
Later.
Love you lots.